Brittany. You might also know me as the Prop Girl. Today I'm going to teach you a little lesson on comparison. So, who would say their favorite flower is a rose? It's beautiful, isn't it? Now, who would say their sunflowers are the most beautiful flower in the world? They're my roommate's favorite flowers too. Now, can you tell me some differences between roses and sunflowers? You might say the colors are different, the shape of the petals are different, the sizes, the way that you care for them, the amount of sunlight. These roses have mean old thorns and sunflowers do not. You can eat the sunflower seeds, but I've never seen anyone eat the seeds of a rose. Now, tell me if you notice, whenever you put the flowers together, that they actually don't take away from each other's beauty. The beautiful yellow sunflower does not take away at all from the beautiful red rose. And the beautiful red of the rose does not diminish any beauty of the sunflower. That's because whenever we don't try to compare them, we actually see that they complement each other. Have you ever driven by a field of wildflowers and it just took your breath away because it was so beautiful? I have. That's because the flowers in the field are not in competition. They don't worry about trying to be prettier than the other flowers in the field. There's a saying that says, flowers don't think about competing with each other, they just bloom. Whoa, Christian, where did you come from?
Sorry to interrupt, it's just I had something I needed to say. Wildflowers remind me that I don't have to compare my beauty to another woman. I actually can appreciate someone else's beauty and know that it does not in any way diminish my own beauty. I remember growing up, and what I used to do is I would wish that I looked like other people. I would think, oh, if I had her nose, her ears, if I had that girl's hair, if I had her feet, my feet are pretty big. I would cut and paste this Frankenstein of a perfect woman in my head and compare myself against her. But the thing is that not only does that girl not exist, I don't have to sit and wish that I was as beautiful as Brittany. I can actually sit and appreciate how beautiful she is while fully realizing that I am also equally beautiful. We're just different. The thing is that you, as you are, with your nose and your freckles and your eye shade, your hair shade, your skin shade, your foot size, your leg length, whatever it is that you've got, you're perfect. You're beautiful. And you don't have to change who you are to be better or worse than anyone else. Whenever God created you, it says He handcrafted us in our mother's wombs. He knew what you were going to look like, and He loved you in advance. And I feel like we diminish our beauty whenever we wish we looked like somebody else. Now, you guys might not know this, but I'm probably about to save you a lot of money. Because magazines are actually created in order to lower your self-esteem. What? I know. A magazine, you scroll through it, and statistically, it says that women who view magazines, their self-esteem drops 30%. That's a lot. What they do is they put a picture of a model next to a picture of a product. And they want you to think to yourself, if I'm going to look like this model, I need to purchase this product. The thing is that whenever I was growing up, we had magazines, but we did not have social media. So I cannot imagine what it would feel like being a young girl growing up with the sort of comparison you would have constant access to. I felt insecure whenever I compared myself to other people or picked up a magazine. But you actually have the chance to feel insecure every time you pick up your phone. I think that that's why we have to use a lot of boundaries and a lot of wisdom whenever it comes to social media and apps that show us a lot of models and other people. Because as you're growing up, there are times in your life where you're meant to look a certain way because you're still developing. and that's completely okay. It's totally normal. They actually say that females don't fully develop until we're 32 years old. Guess who's 32? Me. And so you will be changing and growing your entire life, and you're meant to. I don't think it's fair for a young girl to look at an advertisement and feel like she's supposed to be looking like a woman who's already 32 or already hit her prime. You look great just like you are. Now, whenever I was growing up, the thing is that my parents are white but have a background with German and Native American. And I popped out of my mom German. And my sister came out fully Native American. In fact, I'm going to need her for the rest of this lesson. Hey Annie, what's up?
Hi, Christian.
Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me.
Well, I felt like you probably needed to be present for me to tell them a story about when you were very mean to me.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about it.
So the thing is that I'm not going to tell you about whenever I choked Annie on Christmas morning.
She did that.
I did. Or the time that I shoved her face into snow and told her to eat it till she loves it.
Pretty terrible.
But I am going to tell a story. So as you can see, we are pretty different, and we both have the same mom and the same dad, but I came out German and Annie came out a bit more Native American. And when I was growing up, Annie always used to call me Big Nose. In fact, whenever I would go to sneeze, she would run away. Can you believe that?
It's true.
It is true. She always called me Big Nose. And so I always hated my nose. I used to look in the mirror and think, man, I would be so beautiful if not for this big old honker. I would look in the mirror and wish that I had my sister's nose. Well, years later, when I was in my 20s, I started looking into nose jobs. And I told Annie about it, and she was horrified. She said to me, why would you ever do that? And I said, you're the one who always called me Big Nose. And what she said was, no, Christian, there was nothing wrong with your nose. It was just, I wanted to say something about you and picked the first thing that I saw and it bothered you, so I kept saying it. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, as sisters, sometimes you like to push each other's buttons, and her nose was something that I found upset her, and I went on with it, but I had no idea she internalized it.
Now the thing is, Annie did not mean what she had said, but I took her perspective and I applied it to how I felt about myself. I started looking in the mirror and all I could see was the lies she had said about my appearance. Now, I've got my mom's reading glasses right here, and trust me, wherever she is right now, she's not reading, because these are a very strong prescription. Imagine if I were to drive here wearing these glasses. I would be a danger to everyone on the road because I can't even see my hands in front of me. I had taken Annie's comment, applied it to my own perspective, and I couldn't see myself clearly. We do that all the time. We use comparison, and it changes our appearance and our perspective of how we view ourselves. What I had to do was I had to start taking off the false perspective so that I could see myself clearly. I had to look in the mirror and praise my nose and love it. And let me tell you right now, I love my nose. I wouldn't change it for anything because I actually see what I look like now. We all have opportunities to take someone else's perspective or their opinion, someone else's comment, someone else's rude remark, someone else's cut down, and apply it to the perspective of our lives. But if we do that, we will not clearly see how valuable and precious we are as we are. So to every girl out there in Cyberland, I want to encourage you. You are beautiful. If you have freckles, if you have wrinkles, if you have frizzy hair, if you have straight as a board hair, whatever shape, size, color, ethnicity you are, whatever your personality type is like, I love it. And I want you to love it too. Because just like a wildflower field, we don't just need one type of girl all over the world. We need every type of girl. Because whenever you zoom out and see us all together, that's when we're the most beautiful. Well, I personally found the beginning of that lesson awesome. Probably because I wrote it. The thing is that comparison is a natural response when we're feeling insecure. We don't even necessarily mean to compare, we just tend to do it. And sometimes, whenever we're recognizing how to build up our core strength, we're actually learning how to recognize the things that we do that are not creating for us a strong foundation. Let me give you an example. Believe it or not, I am not the most photogenic person. I tend to just consistently look like someone conked me on the head with a coconut in photos. I found myself, whenever I would use a certain filter on Snap, loving every single photo. I'm talking, I could take a ton of photos and every single one was good. And I was like, what is going on? Well, then I found out that this specific filter actually contoured your face. It gave you bigger eyes, a thinner nose, higher cheekbones, and a thinner face. This contoured look is what I felt like was stunning in every single photo, because it actually was sort of transforming me to look into kind of a European style of beauty, which is typically what we see more often in magazines. The thing is that I should not be only happy with a photograph when it contours me to look like someone else. I need to like the way that I look. And so I decided that I was never going to use any sort of facial contouring filter again if I could help it, because I didn't want to brainwash myself to only think that I looked beautiful when I did not look like myself. I had a boyfriend one time who challenged me because I was telling him that I wanted to take a photo from a very specific angle, to the right and high above. And what he said to me was, Christian, if you don't like your face at different angles, I don't think you actually think you're beautiful. And what he was saying was, you are beautiful and you look beautiful from every angle, and you should be okay with those different angles. Him challenging me like that was really good. I don't need to feel like I am only beautiful whenever I'm in this harsh position with a forced smile. I need to feel confident that I am beautiful and that God was intentional with every single angle I could be seen from. I think that there are times where we use comparison as false strength. Let me give you an example. If I were to feel very confident about my singing voice, whenever I walk into a room, I could affirm myself, well, I know that I sing better than that girl, and I sing much better than that girl over there. And I could sort of affirm myself on the inside so that I feel more secure in a room. Well, what about whenever I go visit the opera? Or let's say I watch Celine Dion or another amazing artist. I might be feeling insecure. And what I've done is I've actually used a shortcut to try to affirm myself. But the problem with shortcuts is they get you lost. And let me encourage you that there are no shortcuts to a strong worth. We have to do the hard work. And the hard work looks like rejecting comparison, because comparison is actually the thief of joy. Joy is something that God has for you in store. And when He created you to be able to feel confident in who you are without comparison. I think that there are times where we can feel jealous of someone else, times where we compare ourselves to someone else. For instance, I could be on an incredible vacation. I could be at the beach, but look at a picture of someone on social media and they're in the mountains with snow and a beautiful cabin and a fireplace, and feel envy that I'm not them. And whenever I do that, I stop paying attention to where I am right then, which is an amazing place. Comparison steals our joy. And what we want to do is be grateful for what we've been given. The thing is that beauty, opportunity is not a pie. It doesn't mean that if someone else is beautiful, they've taken a piece of a pie and I have less now. Beauty is like a river. It's constantly flowing. And our beautiful and creative God has so much resource of beauty and creativity that I can feel happy for someone else who is amazing or beautiful or talented or funny without feeling intimidated that he actually was withholding from me whenever he created them. Listen to me. You are precious. Your size, your shape, your skin shade, whoever you are just right. And you are not more just right when you look like somebody else. You are just right, just as you are. Comparison is going to try to make you feel small. It's going to try to make you feel less than. And we need to reject comparison because it makes us judge others instead of cheer them on. So whenever I see another girl and she is beautiful, I make it a personal challenge to myself that I'm going to compliment her. I'm going to say, "Hi, nice eyelashes. Looking good, girl. Wow, love your outfit. Love your shoes." Because whatever it is that she's rocking does not take anything away from me. We need to be girls who are cheering on every other girl. That is real confidence. So just to review, we talked about how sunflowers and roses are not in competition with each other. They are most beautiful when they are viewed together. We talked about how we cannot have the prescription of someone else's opinion to be what we navigate our lives by. We talked about how beauty is infinite. It's like a river, and our beautiful creative God was intentional when he created us how we are. And we challenged ourselves to be complimenters because our beauty complements the girls around us. We are not in competition with each other. I think you're amazing and so smart and so cute, and I love your outfit, and I can't wait to see you next lesson.